Good morning. I hope you guys had a really nice weekend. I'll try to keep the introductory portion of the video pretty short. You're going to be making your very first Scratch project today. If you did not complete the assignment on Friday, which was creating your Scratch account, you need to do that before you do this assignment. So make sure you get that done before you do this one. And come on back and watch the rest of this video. For those of you who did the assignment on Friday, you're doing great. So it says just to let you know, if you have questions about this lesson today, I'd like you to drop into my Google Hangout during the Scratch programming time period or time block. I'm going to try to keep my extra help divided up into groups, and my 8th graders are going to come from 10 o'clock to 10:20. You guys are going to drop in from 10:20 to 10:40 or thereabouts. And then my 7th graders are going to drop in at 10:40 to 11, just to keep it simple. Because if I have 3 different grade levels and 3 different sets of questions that are totally different topics, it's going to get really confusing for everybody. So today, extra help at 10:20 to 10:40. If you're still confused or you forgot about that, you can drop in any other time. But just so you know, it'll be less confusing for everybody if you just come during that time. Okay. So anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to continue watching the rest of this lesson, and then you're going to do what I show you to do in this lesson. All the instructions are right here. So it says what to do. I'm going to explain these steps in the video that I'm going to show you that you're watching right now. Okay, so when you're finished watching this video, you're going to do all these things. You're going to click the Scratch link, and you're going to sign in. So hopefully you've saved your username and password. If you didn't, and you don't remember your password, please do not create a new Scratch account. Please just send me a request via email for a password reset. Okay, so I can send you a prompt for a password reset. If you just send me a quick email, I can go in and do that. Don't create a new account. Okay, you're going to sign in. And there's a lot of stuff going on here. Hopefully you had some time to look around. We will do a little bit of a lesson on exploring Scratch, maybe creating our profiles and stuff before we share our first projects with the world, so we don't go out there like invisible people. But the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to make something that we can share with people. So what you're going to do today is you're going to click the idea. So up here on the top where you see my cursor, there's the ideas tab, and you're going to click ideas. So ideas gives you all these tutorials. There's all these tutorials. It says, what were you create? It's very inspiring. Okay, so you're going to scroll down, and we're going to try the very first tutorial. So you're going to click try it. And what it's going to do is it's going to create a project for you. So this is your very first project in Scratch. It's untitled. Mine says untitled 8 because I guess I have like 7 other untitled projects that I need to delete because there's nothing in them. Or I need to change the title to something more exciting. And here is the tutorial. Now, some kids get really confused. Oh, that's shrink. Okay. They see this tutorial and they watch the first slide and they're like, oh my God, they gave instructions, but they were so fast I couldn't remember what they said. You don't have to remember that because the video just kind of is a quick video overview that you're going to watch. And then there's these step-by-step. So we go back, right? So then we're going to watch this little video, but then there's the step-by-step that shows you add a move block. Like where do you get that? Okay. It's like, okay. All right. So we're going to go back here. We're going to watch this together.
With Scratch, you can make your own stories, games, and animations. Let's start by grabbing a move block. We can click the block to run it. There are many other blocks to choose from. Check out the different categories. Let's go to the sound category and grab a play sound until done block. I'll snap this onto our move block. When do we want these code blocks to run? Add an event block on top to start the code. I'll add the when green flag clicked block. You can easily reorder or delete these blocks at any time. Add as many characters as you want to your project and code each one. Check out the tutorials page for ideas and inspiration.
Okay, so we can make that smaller. You can watch the video again if you want to, but just know, so it says add a move block. So whenever you get a project, it always starts with this one little guy called a sprite. This is the workspace here. This is the toolboxes here, and this is your coding space right over here. So this is known as a sprite. A sprite is, I'd like to think of it as an empty bucket. And this sprite contains a lot of things. It contains a costume that looks like a cat. It contains code. There's the costumes right there. It contains code, which I don't have any code in there yet. It contains sounds, which is, I guess we have a meow sound in there right now. Okay, but it's not playing because I don't hear, because I didn't code anything yet. We also have a stage. So the sprite is like an actor. These are the scripts that the actor runs. There's a stage right here, which is the backdrop, and you can actually change the backdrops here. Choose backdrop, and it gives you, oh, look at this. He's going to be in the Arctic. Poor kitty. It's very cold there. Okay. It says add a move block. So we're going to go back to motion. Oh, if we're on the stage, we actually can't make the stage move. So we have to click back on the sprite. Okay. It says add a move block. So we're going to drag that over. Now, if we click the move block, so look, in the tutorial, it's like, oh, click that. Right? So it drags in a move block, and then you can see it clicks it. So if I click it, right? So you think maybe, how do I get him to move back in the other direction? Negative 10 steps. So we're going to have, before he moved negative 10 steps, and now he's moving negative 10 steps. So I can have him. So this is how we test the code that we put in here. Okay. And then what does it say? It says say hello for 2 seconds. If you look at say, okay, that's in the purple looks toolbox. So it's a way something that looks, you can see it. So we say, hello for 2 seconds. So we're going to click again. He's going to say hello. Okay, for 2 seconds, and then click the green flag to start. So if I don't want to have to click on the code in this section all the time to get him to do what I want him to do, I can put something called an event in. So I click on the event, and I know it's an event because it's yellow. So I click on events when green flag clicked. And so then he will do it when I click the green flag, which is kind of traditionally, I can drag him back over here, kind of traditionally how we, a lot of Scratch projects start. Not all of them start that way, but a lot of them do. Okay, so I click the green flag, and every time I click the green flag, it does what I programmed him to do here. And then it says more things to try. We can add a backdrop. Okay, so this shows you how to add a backdrop. Okay, if you wanted to do other things, you would just click on other tutorials and it'll, right? So we were at the getting started one. Okay, so if we go to the end, it's like add a sprite. So if I wanted the cat to be actually talking to maybe like a penguin or something, this is how I would add another character. So I click add a sprite. It's giving me a video of how to do that. Okay, so I go back and it says, well, just watch this. So I click the little, and then if I hover over, these are called APIs, application programming interfaces. So if I just hover over any of these, it'll tell me what they are. So this one is choose a sprite. This one is search for a sprite. This one is paint a sprite. So I can make my own. I'm gonna just drag myself up here. I can make my own. Surprise me. I never do that one. So let's just click surprise me. Oh, I got a dinosaur. There we go. Okay. So it says add a sprite. So now you can see My cat, when I click the green flag, does something, but my dinosaur does not. So the way I code my dinosaur is I click on the dinosaur and I would code him. So I can drag out at the event. So maybe I want them to do the same thing. And I drag out a motion block and I have him move. Ooh, maybe I'm going to have him glide. Ooh. Glide for 1 second to a random position. Okay, so then when I click the green flag, ooh, he just went, he's like, hello. And maybe the dinosaur is like, I would like to get away from you. So I can have him say something, say hello. Now notice there's no sound coming out. He doesn't actually, when we say something, it doesn't actually make a noise. It just has a speech bubble. So it would be fun if we had a sound. So maybe if we had the dinosaur play sound. Play sound. What would be a good sound? I could record a noise, but if we click up here in the sounds tab and we click here for choose a sound, I can go up, up, up. Let's surprise me there. A croak. I don't like that. So maybe I'll just search for one. Choose a sound, and I'll choose an animal. Like there's all these animals. Is there a roar? There's a snort. There's a grunt. There's a growl. What's that one? Is that what a dinosaur sounds? I don't think anybody knows what a dinosaur sounds like. So that sounds good. And we go back to the code here. And I'm going to go play sound growl. Okay. So you may have noticed that all of these happen in order. So the cat, when I click the green flag, immediately he goes the 10 steps and then he says the thing that he says, no sound comes out. And at the same time, my dinosaur is gliding. That's the cat code, and this is the dinosaur code. The dinosaur is gliding for a second to a random position. He says hello for 2 seconds, and then after those things happen, the growl sound plays. So it's 1 second, 2 seconds, it's 3 seconds after I press the green flag that the growl plays. So just listen. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Right, and then he growls. If you want him to growl at the same time that is happening, you need to take this play sound out from that order, from that those lines of simple code, and put another when green flag clicked here. So then each of these is going to play simultaneously when green flag is clicked. Okay? All right, so your work for today is to create a project that has at least one sprite, which mine has at least one sprite. The sprite moves when I click something, the green flag. There's a backdrop, and it has a sound that plays when an event occurs. So when I click the green flag, the dinosaur growled. So it fulfills all of those criteria to be to get 100 points for, or 100% for today's assignment. So just keep in mind you need at least one sprite. One of the sprites has to move when you click something, has to have a backdrop, can't be blank, and it has to have a sound that plays when an event occurs. This has sounds. As long as you have at least one sound that plays, then you're fine. Okay? All right. So like I said, if you have questions or you want to ask something live, drop in from 10:20 to 10:40 today on my Google Hangout. Okay. Thanks, guys. Good luck. Have fun today. Why is it not? I would like to stop recording now.